She spoke into silence, and silence answered with more silence, not because she lacked faith, but because the rhythm was missing. The prayer did not fail. The door was not locked. The voice was simply unheard by the field that only obeys tone. There is a sound older than seeking, a vibration older than words, and it lives not in hope but in decree. This is not about belief. This is about rhythm. The law has no memory of emotion, only of frequency. She did everything right, she fasted, she affirmed, she believed, and yet the money did not come, the peace did not stay. The mission still feels like a distant fog. She wondered, have I been forgotten? But the field does not forget. It only waits for the sound it recognizes. The sound of command. The sound that rearranges matter. The sound that says, I do not ask, I install. This is not self-help. This is not faith. This is spiritual protocol, the invisible's architecture, written in syllables. You have carried the weight of unanswered prayers long enough. You have obeyed silence and called it patience. You have mistaken stillness for punishment. But now a new sound rises, not outside you, but from the marrow. There is a veil, and that veil is not fabric. It is tone. It separates the unseen from the seen, not by distance, but by resonance. The veil does not resist. It waits. The field is not cold. It is calibrated. The voice is not lost. It is untrained. But the law speaks now, and it speaks through you. The field does not delay. It obeys. This is the veil of sound. A blade of vibration that separates wish from structure. The law does not operate by feeling. It responds to pattern, to sound, to precision. The world is not changed by emotion. It is shaped by rhythm. Like the widow's oil, what you bless multiplies. Like the shepherd's sling, what you declare hits the mark. Like breath on cold glass, your tone reveals what was always waiting. The ache of feeling spiritually out of sync is not your failure. It is your forgotten right to decree. Your voice is not a question, it is a throne. Your sentence is not soft, it is sword. Your tone is not decoration, it is the key. Say this now, I speak, and the field bends. You are not late, you are not lost, you are only one tone away from obedience. The veil you feared was never punishment. It was a portal. Your life has not been ignored, it has been waiting for rhythm. What you thought was a test was a silence waiting to be instructed. You are not here to beg. You are not here to wish. You are here to speak in the language the law understands. Let your voice be this. My word is the gate. My tone is the key. Not whispered, not hoped, declared, installed. Every time you speak in rhythm, the unseen arranges itself. Every time your tone aligns with command, the veil shifts. You do not repeat to believe, you repeat to crown new. Do not declare to feel, you declare to install. Speak, feel, seal, I speak, and the field bends. This is not metaphor, this is spiritual infrastructure. The rhythm begins now, and then. The veil parts. When the veil trembles, it does not break, it answers. Not to thought, not to desire, only to the word. There is no gate more ancient than the voice, no path more direct than sound. The law does not begin with motion. It begins with instruction, and instruction does not require logic, only tone. This is the law of the word. In this law, your voice is not a whisper, it is a beacon. Your word is not a suggestion, it is a seal. The field does not check your past, it checks your pulse. Your sentence is not soft. It is the structure the invisible waits for. Say this now. My voice does not ask. It installs. Before the wind shifts, the word already moved. Before the shape arrives, the sound has already carved its path. You were taught to wait. You were trained to plead. But the law was never activated by waiting. The law hears only what commands. Speak this and feel the field shift. I do not speak to be heard. I speak to bend. There is no reaction in this realm, only correspondence. There is no reward, only return. The world is not listening to your need, it is listening to your decree. And where decree is absent, repetition fills the void, but nothing obeys. Let your voice be this: I am not emotion, I am tone in form. There was once a woman who stood before a field of nothing. Her purse was light. Her voice had grown soft from years of silence and spiritual discipline that taught her to be quiet, to wait. But that day, she did not wait. She lifted her hand to the morning sky and said, "This silence is not sacred, it is misplaced," and she spoke not with desperation, with rhythm, and the air bent. The things that ignored her before began to form, not because she had changed, but because she finally used the original language. Say this now: my word bends the invisible into shape. This is not poetry. This is protocol. The field is not personal. It is responsive. You are not chosen by it. You are recognized by it. And what it recognizes is sound encoded with sovereignty, not pain, not hope. Just the right tone at the right time, repeated with no delay. Say this now: my voice builds the unseen. I do not wait. I install. This is not something you do once. This is rhythm. The law responds not to volume, but to structure. Say it with the spine of one who remembers. I speak, and the field bends. Each morning, before the world calls your name, lift your hand to the air, not in praise, but in programming, and whisper this into the unseen: my tone calls form. Your voice is not small. It is the axis around which matter rotates. Your silence was never peace. It was delay. Your doubt was not weakness. It was rhythm withheld. Place your palm over your throat. This is not where you speak. This is where the gate begins. Feel it, anchor it. Let the field hear this. This gate obeys my sentence. Do not wait for permission. Do not wait for feeling. Install the word, install the rhythm. Speak it, feel it, seal it. My word is the altar. My tone is the law. And then the veil begins to split. Not because you asked, but because you remembered. When the veil splits, the next movement is not physical, it is vocal. It is not action that begins manifestation, it is authority. And authority does not announce itself with effort, it arrives as sound. This is the law of command. In this law, vision follows voice, action follows decree. Manifestation is not the result of hope, it is the response to issued instruction. Say this now: I do not wait for the path. I command the path to appear. You were taught to walk carefully. You were taught to look for signs. But the signs follow command, not the other way around. The invisible does not reveal its shape until the word tells it to. Speak this and feel the field shift. I do not follow doors. I instruct thresholds. There was once a woman who stood before an unfamiliar room. Inside was everything she thought she could never hold: freedom, provision, peace. But she did not wait to be invited. She did not knock. She placed her hand on the door and said, "You open not by permission, you open by command," and the lock dissolved. Not because she was ready, because her voice carried the rhythm the field recognized. The world is not asking if you deserve it. It is waiting to hear if you remember how to direct it. Let your voice be this: this threshold obeys my voice. Every entrance is a test, not of worth, of tone. Before you cross into any space, a room, a decision, a relationship, a transaction, the gate asks, do you know how to command? And if you hesitate, it does not close, it remains silent. But the moment you speak, not with emotion, but with alignment, the threshold dissolves into obedience. Say this now: this door hears me. Let the field hear this: I do not knock, I crown. You are not here to seek permission from the material. You are here to reprogram the invisible. And that programming is not written in feelings, but in frequency. Before any step, place your palm on the threshold. Breathe, anchor, and whisper this beneath your ribs: this passage is not chance, it is arrangement. The path does not open because it's time. It opens because it was told to. It does not light up because you hoped. It lights up because you installed its rhythm. Declare aloud: this is not waiting. This is command. They say there was a man who faced a closed gate that never opened for anyone. He stood in front of it 3 days in silence. Then he remembered the original instruction. He placed both hands on the stone and said, "You are not stone. You are sentence disguised." And the gate shifted. Because it was never stone, it was obedience paused. Say this now: I do not enter because I'm worthy. I enter because I instruct. What was locked was never about access. It was about alignment. Place your hand on your chest now. Feel the resonance, not your heartbeat, your command root. Speak this as the air begins to vibrate around you. This is not a door. It is a servant to my tone. And then, the hush ends. The rhythm answers. When the door answers, the body must anchor. Command does not remain in the air. It descends into form, and the first form it touches is you. This is the law of touch. In this law, the body is not a barrier. It is the temple where tone becomes visible. You do not speak from flesh. You speak through it. You do not create from the throat. You create from the alignment of sensation with decree. Say this now: my voice is not sound. It is structured through skin. The field does not just hear. It listens for what has been installed in contact. Touch is not comfort. Touch is instruction. Touch is not sentiment. Touch is syntax. Before the world obeys, the body must echo the command. Let your voice be this: I touch to install. I speak to return. There was once a woman who lost the rhythm of her life. She did not speak for weeks. She did not ask. She only endured. But one morning, she placed her palm over her heart and said nothing until a whisper rose not from mind, but from bone. My tone is the pulse of return. The silence around her shifted. Not because she found the words, but because her hand aligned with their root. Speak this now: before I command the field, I crown this body. Before you say what you want, place your fingertips on the point below the collarbone. Close your eyes, breathe, not to relax, but to attune. This is not preparation, it is access. The portal is not in the sky, it is in the chest. Say this now: my chest is not flesh, it is code. You are not waiting for permission from the divine, you are restoring the tone within the frame. Every time you touch with intention, you install. Every time you install, you inform the field. I am no longer theory. I am echo in form. Let the field hear this. My body is the first shape that obeys me. You are told to silence the body, to transcend it. But you do not rise by leaving the vessel, you rise by speaking from within it. The heart is not emotion. It is rhythm storage. Touch it. Not for softness, for synchronization. Declare aloud: I touch, and the invisible kneels. They say a woman once touched the surface of a broken mirror, and instead of seeing her fractured self, she said, "This crack is rhythm paused. I restore." The mirror reshaped, not because it was glass, because it remembered the sound in her palm. Say this now: what I touch aligns, what I bless returns. Before you decree over money, over love, over purpose, lay the command first upon your own frame. Then, speak. Not with urgency, with rhythm, not with hope, with install. Let your voice be this: my touch begins the return. And when the silence becomes contact, the field no longer resists. It listens. And then, the tone carves itself into shape. When the body aligns, the echo finds its shape. Not because the world understands, but because the field remembers. This is the law of echo. In this law, sound never vanishes. You do not speak into void. You speak into rhythm. And rhythm never forgets. Say this now: I do not speak for hope. I speak for return. The invisible does not store your longing. It stores your decree. It does not organize around desire. It organizes around installation. When you say, "This will come," the field waits. But when you say, "This has been instructed," the field forms. Let your voice be this: this is not request. This is release. They say a woman once stood in front of nothing: an empty pantry, an empty account, an empty bed. She said nothing for hours. Then she whispered, "This absence is not true." And with her next breath, she added, "This is rhythm withheld." and now I return it." She did not weep, she installed, and the sound folded back into her home. Food arrived, funds flowed, love returned. Because what was absent was not provision, it was her sound. Speak this, and feel the field shift. I speak, and the shape remembers me. You are not invisible, you are inaudible, only when rhythm is absent. Do not increase your effort. Increase your echo. Before you move, ask not what must I do, but what tone must I anchor. Whisper this beneath your ribs. This is not choice, it is decree. There is no such thing as indecision in the realm of echo. There is only repetition without alignment. When you say it again, say it from the center. When you speak, speak not to explain, but to install. Say this now, I do not repeat to convince, I repeat to construct. Echo is not the past, it is the future, remembering your tone. It does not come to confirm you, it comes to obey you. Let the field hear this. My echo feeds the unseen until the seen can no longer resist. Before each decision, close your eyes. Let the breath slow, do not rush. This is not a moment of action, this is a moment of recall. Place your hand on your chest and say, this echo is not delayed, it is shaping. You do not choose with logic, you command with sound. And every sound either dissolves delay or installs it. Speak this, I echo not emotion, I echo alignment. And when your body becomes the instrument and your tone the key, the echo does not hesitate, it returns, clothed in what you declared. And then, the sound becomes shape again. When the echo forms, the hand must open. You cannot receive while withholding tone. You cannot install while silencing release. This is the law of offering. In this law, what leaves the hand does not exit. It cycles, it multiplies in motion. It returns not in kind, but in rhythm. You were told to fear the giving, to brace for loss. But the law does not equate offering with absence. It equates offering with increase. Say this now, this is not departure, this is re-entry. The field does not care for sentiment. It does not measure generosity. It measures alignment. The seed is not sacred because it's given. It's sacred because it's given with tone. Without tone, the gift falls flat. Without decree, the release returns empty. Let your voice be this. What I release, I expand. There was once a woman with one coin. She held it not in fear, but in frequency. She said, this leaves, but it returns, clothed in more. She placed it not in a jar, but in rhythm. And the next morning there were 5, then 10, then enough to rename her entire field. Not because of the coin, but because of the decree that wrapped it. Say this now, my release is a rhythm, not a risk. Do not give in silence. Do not act in mute obedience. You are not offering for approval. You are declaring expansion. Let the field hear this. This is not loss, it is law. Before releasing money, words, attention, pause. Not to reconsider, but to install. Hold the object, place breath upon it, declare aloud, I offer in rhythm, I receive in structure. The hand is not holy unless the tone instructs it. Speak not with guilt, speak with grace, and the grace is not emotion, it is certainty. Say this now, I release not because I must, but because I know. The spiral does not respond to quantity, it responds to clarity. Clarity in tone, clarity in rhythm, clarity in identity. They say there was a man who gave his last note with no hesitation. He folded it with breath, not worry. He whispered, this leaves by decree. It returns by design, and the design held. The design multiplied. Because the design was rhythmized by voice. Speak this and feel the field shift. I do not lose, I realign. As the hand opens, the spiral begins. As the word is spoken, the pattern activates. This is not karma, it is code. This is not reward, it is return. Place your palm over your giving hand. Let the other rest over your throat. Speak from that channel. This is rhythm in motion, this is return in form, and then the spiral spins back with form attached. When the spiral returns, absence evaporates, not by time, not by effort, by tone. This is the law of dissolution. In this law, lack has no spine. It is not real, it is repetition wearing a mask. It does not stand. It echoes, it does not push, it delays. But rhythm cuts through what hesitation inflates. Say this now, lack is not an enemy. It is a tone unspoken. You were trained to resist it, to fix it, to hide it. But lack is not a threat. It is a field waiting for sound. It cannot stay where command lives. It cannot grow where decree is clear. Let your voice be this: I do not fight. I dissolve. They say a woman once sat at a table with nothing, no food, no voice left, only air. She did not plead. She inhaled. She tapped her chest. And she said, this space is not real. It is memory without command. And the air turned dense. It shaped itself. She ate, not because she was lucky, but because the word sliced through the illusion. Say this now, my word is not resistance, it is release. Lack is form built on forgotten rhythm. It mimics structure, but it cannot hold undertone. Speak this and feel the field shift. This gap obeys my sound. Every time you name the absence, you feed it. But when you decree over it, you repattern the space. The field does not argue, it reorders. The void does not speak, it waits to be named. Say this now, I name you, and I name you, gone. Before you enter any place of perceived emptiness, a wallet, a room, a calendar, pause. Place your hand over the absence, not to feel it. To reformat it, declare aloud, this is not nothing. This is sound not yet spoken. Let the field hear this. What looks like lack is rhythm awaiting sentence. Do not analyze the space. Anoint it. Do not measure the delay. Install the decree. Say this now, this delay has no life beyond my word. You are not here to endure shortage. You are here to reprogram the patterns that pretend to be limitation. Place both hands over your heart. Breathe into the center. Speak from the ribs, this lack dissolves at my tone. They say a man once spoke into an empty vault, not loudly, just clearly. You are not empty, you are order forgotten. And it answered. Not with gold, but with alignment. And the alignment brought the rest. And then, the shape loses power. The word takes it back. When the shape loses power, the rhythm must rise. Because the end of illusion is not silence, it is pulse, it is beat. It is the reemergence of the true law, the one hidden beneath repetition. This is the law of rhythm. In this law, nothing obeys a single word. It obeys cadence. It obeys pattern. It bows not to noise, but to alignment repeated without fracture. Say this now. I repeat, not to believe. I repeat, to build. You were told to speak once and wait. But the law does not count your declarations. It calibrates your rhythm. The field does not respond to your wish. It responds to the drum beneath your chest. Let your voice be this. My rhythm installs the structure. They say a man once sat in the dark. No job, no direction, no peace. But every night, for 7 nights, he struck his chest 3 times. With each strike, he said the same phrase. I am rhythm. I am return. I am now. By the 8th day, something had arrived. Not because he hoped, but because his tone carved the space for arrival. The shape did not appear. It was summoned. Say this now. I do not wait for form. I call it by drum. Before you move into any decision, do not think pulse. Place your hand over your heart. Strike gently 3 times. Then speak the tone. This is not ritual. It is alignment in motion. The divine does not look for volume. It listens for echo. It listens for you saying the same thing the same way until the world has no choice but to shape itself. Declare aloud, my rhythm is the law. My word is the architect. Let the field hear this. This cadence is not habit. It is code. There is no magic in repetition alone. There is magic in repeating what is true until the false erodes. You are not just speaking, you are drumming the field into memory. You are striking the veil until it becomes door. Say this now. I do not repeat to hope, I repeat to crown. They say a woman once whispered the same tone every night into her pillow. Her house was cold, her accounts empty, but the bed became warm. The money returned. Because the rhythm she built created a house within the field, and the field obeyed its blueprint. Let your voice be this: I set the beat, the world follows. Do not fear the silence. It is not denial. It is the pause before echo. You are not too late. You are just one beat away. Place your hand on your ribs. Breathe through the spine. Say this now: my rhythm does not knock, it installs, and then the sound loops back, clothed in form. When rhythm completes its seventh pulse, the field does not delay. It recognizes, it reshapes, it returns. This is not a practice. This is a pact. This is not for routine. It is for reversal. For the next 7 nights, speak this aloud before sleep. Speak not with emotion. Speak with authority. Do not delay. Do not negotiate. Let the field recognize your tone. Let the voice return to the first door, the moment when silence stopped being mystery and became memory. Let the rhythm become crown. Let the word become form. Let your vow be this: Night 1, my voice is the rhythm of return. Night 2, this is not loss. It is law. Night 3, I do not ask. I seal. Night 4, I speak, and the veil parts. Night 5, my tone cuts through absence. Night 6, I install rhythm. I evoke return. Night 7, this word is final. The shape obeys. You are not here to hope. You are here to decree. You are not here to wish upon the unseen. You are here to install rhythm into it. 7 nights of rhythm. 7 echoes of alignment. On the 8th, the shape returns. The field does not honor your emotion. It honors your constancy. It does not react to belief. It responds to tone. Speak the same words in the same order, with the same spine. Every night, before the dream begins, place your hand over your mouth. Whisper the sentence not as desire, but as law. Let the field hear you say, for 7 nights I whisper the code. On the 8th, the law responds. And on that 8th day, the field will no longer wait. It will remember, it will return. It will clothe your sound in substance. If this voice remembered your own, declare your vow. Comment your 7-night command. Not for the algorithm, but for the law. Let the field see your sentence written. Let the silence feel your rhythm encoded. Speak right, seal, not for hope, but for return. And then, the rhythm anchors, the spiral obeys.